Shea Lacey will break the Premier League. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Now wait, do you want to see what this kid can really do in the Premier League? Want more? Manchester United's academy has produced a long list of successful players over the years, and their latest emerging talent is already turning heads. Shea Lacey, an 18-year-old winger, is showing serious promise with his technical quality and standout performances at youth level. His close control, confidence on the ball, and fearless approach have quickly set him apart. Lacey has even drawn comparisons with Wayne Rooney thanks to that same fearlessness on the pitch, and his ability to take responsibility in big moments. And while hype around United's academy prospects is nothing new, this time it genuinely feels different. Their latest superstar looks like the real deal we promise. Since the dawn of time, United have always been defined by their academy. Think of the class of '92, think of George Best, think of Sir Bobby Charlton, and more recently, Marcus Rashford. Names that shaped eras, names that became legends. And Shea Lacey is on course to be one more name added to that legendary list. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. The winger who once beat Lamine Yamal to a Best Player award has finally arrived in the Premier League after 14 years inside the academy system. Ronaldinho made the move known as the Elastica Famous during his magical years at Barcelona. Years later, a small child in Liverpool was already humiliating defenders with that same dribbling trick known in English as the flip-flap. That child was just 3 years old. His name was Shea Lacey. By the age of 4, he was already playing for Manchester United. 14 years later, Lacey made his first team debut. Today, he has a global following, with fans constantly flooding social media to praise his dazzling skills for United's under-18s. His first taste of senior football came during United's post-season tour of Asia at the end of last season, and from that moment on, the entire Manchester United fan base started asking the same question. How did this happen? Shea trained with Liverpool, Everton FC, Blackburn Rovers and Manchester City, but his father chose Manchester United, believing it was the best environment to maximise Shea's dribbling ability. The family was also impressed by how the club educated and protected its young players. Paddy knew his brother was doing special things because Shea kept returning from tournaments where United faced clubs like Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Juventus, and almost always came home with the Player of the Tournament trophy. One year, he even beat a young Lamine Yamal to the award. He scored his first goal for the under-18s at just 15 years old, a stunning long-range strike away at Wolverhampton Wanderers, after dribbling from the touchline and smashing the ball into the top corner. He scored an even better goal in the home return leg against Wolves later that season, weaving from the wing through the defence, along the byline and delicately lifting the ball over the goalkeeper. This season in Premier League 2, he scored a brace against Crystal Palace under-21. And provided an assist against Tottenham Hotspur under-21.
Shea Lacey finds Biancheri. Lovely touch from Biancheri.
In the EFL Trophy, he scored against Notts County.
Who gave the ball away, so it might have been Matty Platt, played a ball, sort of a nothing ball into the middle of the park, got intercepted.
And assisted against Barnsley FC. He also scored in a friendly against Japan with England's under-22s. Why Shea Lacey's strengths fit Manchester United perfectly. Shea Lacey's skill set feels tailor-made for Manchester United. The comparisons with Phil Foden don't come out of nowhere. Lacey has that same close control, the same sharp changes of direction, and a left foot that can both create and finish. He usually starts on the right, but he's comfortable drifting inside, playing as an attacking midfielder, or even switching to the left. His agility, his vision, and his eye for goal all fuel that comparison. There's one moment from his youth football that still gets mentioned inside the club. Against Blackburn Rovers, Lacey drifted inside, eliminated 2 defenders with a single body feint, then slid a perfectly weighted pass through the line. No panic, no rush, just control. That was the moment when some United coaches realised this wasn't just another gifted academy winger, but his journey wasn't smooth. Late in 2023, Shea suffered a serious thigh tear that ruled him out for almost 6 months, 162 days on the sidelines, 19 matches missed. For an academy player, that can feel like an eternity. Many lose rhythm, some lose confidence, others lose their place altogether. Lacey didn't. He rebuilt his body, committed fully to recovery, and came back sharper, stronger, and more balanced than before. That's when the conversation changed. He wasn't just talented anymore, he was resilient. And that mix of discipline and flair is exactly why United fans light up when they hear his name. It's what this club has always stood for. So, what really makes him different? Shea Lacey makes football look simple. He's a left footer who loves starting on the right, cutting inside, and freezing defenders. One touch to set, one touch to create space, then a calm finish into the far corner. Watch him closely and you see echoes of Phil Foden in how he glides through tight spaces, always balanced, always tidy. But there's also a touch of Wayne Rooney in him, that hunger to take responsibility. In under-21 matches, he hasn't just collected goals and assists, he's decided games, free kicks, threaded passes, big moments in big fixtures. That's why people around the academy call him a magician. Training clips tell the same story. 3 players around him, no space to turn, and somehow the ball stays glued to his foot. He shields it, rolls it, then slips away as if nothing happened. That calm in crowded areas is what separates him from most young wingers. He's dangerous from set pieces too. One coach even joked that a free kick from 20 yards for Shea is basically a penalty. His left foot really is that clean. In one youth tournament, he almost scored 4 free kicks in a single match. You don't do that unless your technique is elite. The smartest evolution in his game came after the injury. He didn't return trying to beat everyone on his own. He started choosing his moments, when to attack, when to draw defenders, when to release the ball. 2 quick passes, and suddenly United are breaking lines. That's exactly the kind of winger Manchester United need. Players who can come inside, link play, rotate positions, and unlock low blocks. He loves operating in the half spaces. He enjoys receiving on the half turn. He thrives on slipping passes through compact defences. And from a squad building perspective, it all makes sense. A young player who can play on the right, operate inside, or come off the bench and change a game is invaluable, especially with players like Noussair Mazraoui, Amad Diallo, and Brian Mbeumo, set to miss time during the Africa Cup of Nations. That versatility suddenly matters. And Shea Lacey looks ready to take advantage of it. His evolution has been magnificent. Shea Lacey has developed a deadly combination: the intelligence to create shooting space through pure skill, and a beautiful left foot to finish the job. He showed it with his goal against Crystal Palace. Perfect ball control, carrying the ball forward, a sharp cut away from goal inside the box, and with almost no angle left, he still found the net. Then there's another moment, even cleaner, from the edge of the D, a quick feint to shift the ball onto his stronger foot, and a left-footed strike bent into the far top corner. But the real question is obvious. Can he do that in the Premier League? The answer is yes. Lacey almost proved it instantly. In the 85th minute of Manchester United's 2-2 draw away at Burnley, seconds after replacing Manuel Ugarte, the teenager picked up the ball, drove at goal from the right, cut inside onto his left, and unleashed a curling shot that smashed against the crossbar. Martin Dubravka was beaten completely. Only the frame of the goal denied him a true Macheda moment, a reference every United fan knows. Back in 2009, a 17-year-old Federico Macheda came off the bench for his debut against Aston Villa and scored a 93rd minute winner that changed his life overnight. After seeing what Lacey showed in just a few minutes at Turf Moor, United fans were asking the same question everyone asked back then: where has this kid been hiding? Because what he showed in seconds, under pressure, at Premier League level was genuinely spectacular. I still remember the former United manager scoffing when I asked him directly whether he had even considered bringing Shea Lacey on in the final minutes of what turned into a horrible home defeat against a 10-man Everton back in November. The reaction said a lot, but if Manchester United truly want change, they also have to look inward towards their young talent, because Carrington has always been one of football's greatest factories. Giving space to youth is not a gamble at this club. It is the very foundation of its greatest successes. Just look at the history. George Best is one of the biggest superstars the game has ever seen. A unique winger, decades ahead of his time, and the face of Sir Matt Busby's last great United side. His off-field lifestyle limited his career, but his legacy remains untouchable. He is football royalty. Then there is Sir Bobby Charlton, one of the greatest to ever wear red. He won everything with United. He scored the goals that carried the club to the European Cup in 1968 and played a key role in England's World Cup triumph 2 years earlier. A Ballon d'Or winner, a symbol of class, resilience, and greatness. Gary Neville represents another pillar of the academy. A member of the class of '92, he made 602 appearances under Sir Alex Ferguson and won 17 major trophies. Today he remains one of the most passionate voices defending the club, because United never really leaves you. In more recent times, Marcus Rashford is arguably the academy's brightest modern success. Thrown in by necessity under Jose Mourinho, he responded instantly. 2 goals on his first team debut.
Kept in across the face of goal!
2 more on his European debut. And another on his Premier League debut against Arsenal just days later.
Did well. Back into the danger. Rashford! You couldn't make this up!
That is the United way. Ryan Giggs is pure mythology. 963 appearances, 25 major honours, 13 Premier League titles, 2 Champions Leagues. a winger who somehow improved with age, timeless, irreplaceable. David Beckham may be the most famous academy graduate of all. On the pitch, he was elite goals, work rate, technique, delivery. Off the pitch, he became a global icon. Few players have ever represented both football and culture the way Beckham did. And one of the most underrated academy products is Darren Fletcher, a warrior, a relentless box-to-box midfielder, 5 Premier League titles. And interestingly, Fletcher is now one of the key figures who helped ignite Shea Lacey's rise into the Premier League setup. When you look at this academy, when you look at the history, and when you look at the talent Shea Lacey possesses, it becomes impossible not to feel excited. He has the skill, he has the mentality, he has the structure around him, and most importantly, he is at the right club. Because if there is one place in world football where a kid like Shea Lacey can grow into something special, it is Manchester United.